Another unarmed black person shot in their own home yet again. We're going to get into this Atatiana Jefferson story, as well as these so-called journalists making us look bad in front of Riri. Come on now. And you know what? Billy Porter. We're going to get into him because he could possibly be the answer to all of our dreams. We're going to talk about that and more on our Black Twitter After Show. Let's go.
You're tuned into Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Tune in right now.
Hey, I'm feeling this beat today. Okay.
Yeah. Hey,
all right.
We need
Happy
you lit.
Monday.
We in the club.
You not lit?
Not yet.
This
Not yet.
outfit
After
is
the show.
lit.
After the show.
This
After
outfit
the
is
show.
lit. We'll get into all of
lit.
that. But welcome to our Black Twitter show. You guys, I love this show because we talk about everything us, our culture, all about us, but let's get into us. So I am Jamie Gray, and I am not alone. I have my amazing panel. Introduce yourselves.
Hey guys, it's me, Sierra Stafford. I'm back in the building this week.
Back again.
Back again.
Hey guys, TK Trinidad. What's up?
All right, and so if you guys are not familiar with TK, she is also with our sister network and with BHL, so AfterBuzz TV and BHL. You do a lot with hosting. You know, tell people just a little bit about what you do.
Oh God.
She does everything.
Yeah, I do everything. I'm like the quintessential Jamaican, but really Trinidadian. 30 jobs. Work with TMZ, iHeart, VH1, Sheen, Jasmine Brand. I worked with all of them. But yeah, you can just catch it all on tktrinidad.com.
Okay,
Yes.
the shameless plug. We love that. We love that.
I'm here.
Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, it's a ladies panel, but we are missing Jay Lamar. He will be here. He'll be back in a few weeks. And also Rocky. We can't forget about Rocky. She'll be here next week. We're going to hold it down, though.
Yes.
So let's get into these topics because a lot has been happening. And the first thing I want to get into, which is a story I'm not really too happy about. It's Atatiana Jefferson.
Yes.
We have yet another unarmed black person shot in their own home. Yet another hashtag, and I'm sick of it. So let's just get into exactly what this is all about. So, well, first of all, you guys, what were your thoughts when you just heard the story in general? What was just your reaction in general when you heard another person being shot in their home?
So for me, it was really sad. I'm actually from Dallas, Texas, so this hit home for me as well as just like the other murder that just happened. But it's crazy because you hear someone getting harmed once again in their home. It's not in the streets. It's not related to any type of violent crime. This was a young, educated lady, who was watching her nephew, James Smith, the neighbor, who actually called for help, and not for criminal help, but just to make sure someone was okay because the door was left open. And instead of them just doing normal protocol, they just decided to aim and fire without even giving her 2 seconds to say, put my hands up, whatever the case may be. So this really hurt me. This really made me very uncomfortable, and I just want justice for her and her family because it doesn't make sense, and I need these cops to pay for what they're doing. We keep brushing. I'm sorry. I'm getting to it. But it's
I'm literally getting hot.
We keep brushing it to the side, but it's like no matter if we keep stopping it and not saying nothing about it, they're gonna keep killing our people. We can't just brush away 2 weeks later. 2 weeks later, somebody else is dead. So it's like it's an ongoing issue, and it doesn't make any sense, especially if you're in your own home.
So now, being from Dallas, are you familiar with it? Because obviously what happened was terrible. But are you familiar with the area? Because I'm trying to figure out why the cops would do that. Was it a bad area where they were on high alert, therefore they went in like that? Or like, what's the justification? Because I'm guaranteeing if it was in Beverly Hills, they wouldn't go through the back door and point before even shooting. So are you familiar with that particular area at all?
So that shooting was actually in Fort Worth. So Dallas Fort Worth is a metroplex, but she was actually in Fort Worth. So I'm not in Fort Worth, but Fort Worth can be a very can be very grimy at times. So I feel like in the cops' point of view, I feel like, okay, maybe you hear something, okay, my door's been left open, that's not normal. So they probably were thinking, okay, this is suspicious, alert. Let's go with high alert, which I understand that. But if you watch the video, and I was going to share the video, but it was too graphic. But if you go on the hashtag and type her name on Twitter, you'll see the video. And literally, he gave her like less than 2 seconds. He said, literally, put your hands up,
and then shot her.
You could barely even see it. It was just like you gave her no time to react. And it's okay. So the call was made based off of a welfare check, right?
Exactly.
From a neighbor. So I think they were just nosy neighbors, right?
Yeah.
But apparently the back door was already open.
And the light was on.
Okay.
Yeah, the door was open. The light was on. It was like a screen door. So, yeah, it was on. And so James Smith, who was a neighbor, he said, I know them. I know their family. This is unusual. So I can see why he would want, So he said, I want to do a safety check. Don't come in here on a suspect. It's just a safety. So, like I said, I get how they probably had precaution up because that's probably weird. But like you said, watching the video, he said 2 seconds and shot. And it's like, you didn't even know who that was. I mean, I can see if you're trying to defend yourself, but it's like, dang, you're not doing your protocol. You guys are here to protect and serve, and no one's doing that anymore. And like, I don't know if you guys seen everybody saying, but it's like, I don't want to call the cops anymore. Well, I don't feel safe.
Black people have been wanting to call the cops since ever because it started from Jim Crow. Yeah. So that's the issue. And then when it's a catch-22 because you talk to some black folks and they don't want to, and all of a sudden you kind of have to know the culture. And it's like you say, well, we need more black people on the force, but then black people don't want to be on the force because of the culture of the force. So then you have people who are not familiar with the culture or not familiar with, the environment, and, they're policing a whole thing that they don't understand. Right?
Well, I mean, that should, honestly, I think that, like, police protocol, how to deal with the cop, just when you're being pulled over, that should be taught in schools, because if you don't even know how to react in those situations, you're going to be in trouble because you're thinking, oh, why is this happening? Why are they talking to me like this? And you have no idea what it's like to be stopped, and for them to even just judge you because of how you look, that makes it 10 times worse.
But at this point, I feel like nowadays, or just in general, the protocol doesn't even matter because innocent or guilty, they're still shooting people and killing people. Right. So it doesn't matter if I cooperate or not cooperate. Facts. It's still going to be a bad in the resolution.
Yeah, but it put you on nerve. Like, that happened to me 3 weeks. I was literally parked. I was parked in my house. Like, I pulled over, parked. I'm like looking in my purse. Right? And I live across the street from a police station, and all of a sudden I'm seeing flashlights in my car window. And I'm like,
for what I do?
Yeah. Yeah. So he has me wind down, and he's asking me for and I was like, but I'm
lying
parked.
Down.
No, wind. He had me wind down the window.
Girl.
Oh yeah, that's not. He had me wind down the window, and like in my mind, I'm like,
why?
I'm parked. I'm literally less than a block away from my house, and it's just like, I don't understand what's going on. Did you report your car? But I just gave you my license and why would I report my car? It don't make no sense. And then before all that, he gave me back my license registration, then drove off. But it just still bothers me today because I'm having 2 men shine lights in my window late at night.
Right.
And I'm close to home.
But that's what I'm saying. There needs to be some sort of protocol where not just black people, but everyone is taught, okay, in this situation, what do you do? Because I remember I got pulled over by a cop, and y'all, I don't recommend doing what I did, but I got out the car. Because I didn't know. That's what I'm saying. If you don't know what it's like to be pulled over, what's going to happen.
Like, without them telling you?
Y'all, I was like 15. I had no clue, like, what.
You're lucky.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, and he was like, and then he was like, oh yeah, you didn't have your seatbelt on. I was like, yes, I did. I got out the car. Like, I didn't know what the protocol was for being pulled over. And there are other clueless people, just like me, who do that, or where they don't know their rights, just like when that cop pulled you over and asked you to roll down your window, knowing your rights. And Sandra Bland knew her rights. There was an activist, Sean King, who he suggested that there's another number that black people need to be able to call in a case of emergency besides 911, because we don't really know if the police, it's been proven that they're not our allies.
Well, they're not for us, they're against us.
Yeah, this is where, a newer version of the Black Panthers would be more effective right now. Because despite all the social media, when, they were talking about that like a couple years ago when Beyonce did the whole Super Bowl thing, they were protecting the community. They were feeding the community. They were doing all those types of things. And I think we've gotten to the point where, we're so much about ourselves and not about the community that maybe a form of that organization would be helpful. But on the flip side, they went and killed all of them. So
I just can't wait for losing. But we do have tweets on this topic. You got to see what the people are talking about. So Jamira Burley, she says, Botham Jean, and we know about Botham, was eating ice cream in his apartment. Atatiana Jefferson was playing with her nephew in her house, but all police saw was their blackness and thought that was threatening enough. Police has never and will never mean safety for black people. And I mean, she hit it right on the nail. It's just sad. And like he says, these incidents happen almost back to back. We just finished dealing with the Botham case, and now this, so it's a lot. And then we also have Chelsea Handler. Now, I was happy that Chelsea actually spoke out on this. And she says, Black people can't call the police. They can't call a non-emergency line. They can't call for help and feel safe without being killed. We have failed people of color in this country in the past, and we continue to do it in the present. We have to change. Hashtag Atatiana Jefferson.
Her documentary on Netflix was really good too.
It was.
What's it called? Whites.
Is it something privileged?
Yeah, white privilege.
Hi, I'm privileged. Or Chelsea.
Something on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
I'm gonna watch it. That's
those are the keywords.
It's a combination of that. It's a really
just Google Chelsea Handler.
Yeah, it's a really good documentary. But it's just like I don't even know. Maybe we should just create Wakanda and actually go back to somewhere. I don't know.
And this made me.
This is Josh in the booth. It's actually called Hello Privilege. It's me and Chelsea.
Oh, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
See, I had high and privilege. That was close. But
and last thing real fast, James Smith, which was the neighbor, I kind of felt bad for him, but in the article he said, I'm shaken, I'm mad, I'm upset, and I feel like it's partly my fault. If I had never doubted the police department, she'd be alive. And he said, it just makes you not want to call the police department if you don't feel safe with the police department, then who do you feel safe with? Do you just ignore crime or ignore something that's just not right?
Right.
So it's tough, and I do feel bad for him because I mean he was just
on
looking
his
out,
conscience.
and he has to live with that. So it's just crazy. We have to stop this.
I mean, yeah, because I was thinking like, what is that neighbor really feeling, you know? But one person I don't feel bad for is the officer, because we do have some late news about this officer. His name is Aaron Dean, and at first he resigned. It's like, okay, so as soon as something goes down, you want to leave your position,
of course,
but. It's just been we've just been notified that he's been arrested with the murder of Atatiana Jefferson. So we're getting progress. At least he's been arrested, because usually in cases like this, it goes on days, months before we hear anything about them.
But he's also new to the force, so sacrificial lamb type thing. Well, we also had with the last case, the officer is going away for a little bit of time. It's not a lot of time, but I think if this guy was been in the department for several years, like 10 years, it would be a different outcome.
Of course.
So he's definitely he deserves to be arrested, but again, he just started with the department. So it's gonna be interesting to see that story.
Well, let's hope he learns, because I'm tired of these officers getting away. So
these officers and these journalists need to learn too, because this one journalist that we're about to get into, she's making us look bad, y'all. Now we all of us on this panel, we are journalists, and so Abby Aguirre, she is a journalist who was about to interview of all stars Rihanna, bad girl Riri, and she blew it. So in the middle of her interview, she actually states to Rihanna that she is not prepared. I guess she got the call like a day or two in advance.
No, the day of,
saying that Rihanna is here, she's in town, and she felt like she didn't have time, but she's here. My thing is, as a journalist, you're gonna get called for a carpet last minute. You're gonna get called for a press junket last minute, whatever it might be. But why are you telling this to the person that you're interviewing?
You just made two of my main points. For one, we're journalists. If you work in hard news, or if you ever been in a hard news station, you on a time crunch at all times. So there's no excuse. They do not care. Them producers don't care, okay? So us as journalists.
But she's in Vogue. So it's
Vogue,
not like a news.
Well, no, I was giving an example as to how that's just still no excuse. Because, I mean, if they can do it, anybody could do it. I mean, and then it's like Rihanna. Now, I don't know if her culture may not know that much, but Rihanna, I got two questions in my head automatically. So it's like, it's not like it was some unknown person that you just couldn't come up with something real quick.
Vogue, Abby girl, you blew it.
You blew it.
It's Rihanna.
It's Rihanna.
She's been in this game for over 10 years. You could have asked her about
let me ask about 50.
Let me
devil's advocate.
I mean, so
I want to hear. I'm just curious.
Let me just try this. So we call the day of. She's not of the culture, so she might not know as much. And if the article, it's for Vogue, so it might be a certain angle. Because it's one thing if you're a journalist and you're doing a red carpet. We've all been there when you have a red carpet and they just throw somebody that we have no idea about. You ask them. A good journalist has a couple of evergreen questions. You can go wherever, right? But if it's for something particular or specific, and you just got the call and you're driving in LA, I'm guessing there's traffic, all this other stuff, then she probably wasn't prepared. And it's a catch-22. If she was sitting across from Rihanna and they're having a conversation and the honesty was there, like, hey, I'm not really prepared for the interview, then
Nah.
because sometimes you have that comfortability with some people who you're interviewing.
And here's the thing, I get that. Like,
I'm just
for
trying.
Instance,
Don't. She's like,
if you
no.
want to wear, like, for instance, let's say if you're at a red carpet and you want to wear flats, that's fine, because sometimes those carpets are 3 to 5 hours. So they might judge you because it's like everyone else is dressed up. Why are you wearing flats? Things like that.
Who's gonna judge you?
No, I see that a lot, girl.
Right, you do, but I'm just saying, like, it's like a protocol where you think at a red carpet you should show up like this way to a function.
Yeah.
When you're
That's not like
interviewing
that
someone, it's like, why admit to them, I'm not prepared for you. I'm not doing my job. And speaking of that, I mean, social media is dragging her. Entertainment journalist Sylvia Obell wrote, privilege is being able to show up to an interview with one of the world's biggest stars with no questions written. That right there alone, I'm like, okay, there you go. Admit it to the star, okay? And write it in the story. And then the editor letting the line go to print because no one is concerned that it will make anyone question your ability to do your freaking job.
I think the biggest thing in here was admitting it to Rihanna. If you weren't prepared, okay, but I'd rather you stuttered over a question than say, hey, I'm not prepared to interview you. Because
it's written.
Yeah,
it's so much different.
And my thing is, like, I just find, I'm sorry, last minute, hours before, whatever the case may be, I just find it so hard that on the way there, whatever prior to, you couldn't come up with one question.
Right.
I just don't. I'm sorry, it don't make sense.
So has anybody read the article yet?
No, I haven't read it.
Okay, because I actually want to see, because maybe that line is a part of the story. Because especially with the Vogue articles, they tell, I'm just trying, y'all. I'm just trying. Don't come for me.
I'll give you that.
But you know how the Vogue articles, and especially magazine articles like that, they tell a story within the article. So maybe that, she included that in the article in order to tell the story of whatever the article is about. I think before you drag her, and this is one of those...
Been done.
This is one of the things on Twitter. It's like we drag these people, but we haven't even read the article. So I kind of feel like, okay, I'm gonna read the article, and then if I'm like, she ain't, then I'm gonna drag her.
So what did you think of the article?
So did she get
I
anything
haven't read the article. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
A lot of people, how Twitter works and how dragging culture works. You see something, then you see a headline, and then you start dragging the person. But what if the article actually told the story that actually include that line
Here's
makes
my
sense?
Thing, though.
Like
Why
that would
should
have
I
came
read
out
an article that someone already told me that they're not prepared for? I don't want to read it. I'm not interested.
I mean, that was like that lose credibility. It may lose credibility, and it might spark some interest. Like, let me see what this is about because it's unusual.
I just say,
especially when I already know enough about Rihanna. If you are a journalist, come prepared. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
If I can interrupt just one quick minute, I actually have an excerpt from the Vogue article that she wrote.
Okay.
Right here it says, normally I bring a list of questions, but I didn't have time to prepare one, which I make a split-second decision to confess. I'm winging it, so you have to help me, I say nervously. Rihanna flashes a grin that is somehow both reassuring and mischievous, saying, aren't we all, she says.
I mean, Rihanna was understand. She's
I'm
going to
sure
understand,
she
but she's
was,
also
yeah.
like, I'm sure this interview is going to be a lot quicker too, because these stars, they don't always like to do the interviews. They're ready to get out of there.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, okay, well, great, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
But my thing is still, stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Yeah.
You could have easily, while she's maybe taking an Uber or a Lyft to the said site, look on Instagram, look on Twitter, look at the 5 latest stories that she posted and come up with something.
That's all we're saying.
Or just talk about Vogue. You know, like do a 21 questions kind of thing like they usually do. Like, but anyway.
Just next time,
I
be
feel so
prepared, girl.
sorry for her. But
I'm gonna be honest. We've all been there, so I feel bad. But like I said, just next time, be prepared because you gotta make something shake. And if you know you're going with a big star, you cannot mess that up.
You can't.
You can't.
But things happen, and I honestly, because it's Vogue, and they've been around for a long period of time. Like I wish we could I wish we could like take a 5-minute and read the article and then come back, but we can't. But I honestly think that the thing about us being journalists, even though you don't want to read it, I think we should actually read the article to actually see it makes sense. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Everybody else who don't really do that stuff, and you want to drag her on Twitter and all that stuff, great. But I think one of our things to not perpetuate the dragging or the lies or the assumptions, because like Chinese whispers, somebody says one thing and then you add something else, then you hear, oh well, she came in hobo clothing. Like you hear all these additional stuff when really it could have just been part of the article, and what somebody took that line out, which is bad. Don't get me wrong, but it might have made the story for what it is.
Yeah.
Right. I think, but again, I do still feel like because of this story, I think it went viral because of that. It went viral because she was unprepared.
Yeah.
So the people that went off on social media, they're the ones letting us know this is what she's talking about. She's not prepared. So I'm like, why should I read her article just because it went viral?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I'll read it. I'll be nice.
Y'all let me know how it is.
We need to read it because
I'll
we're
read it, I
journalists
guess,
and we have to
but
know
So we have to
everything.
read every journalist article?
We have to read if it has to do with social media and something where somebody's getting dragged or something where the information's putting out there, then I think we need to read it. It's just like oh my gosh, the thing with Trump, when everybody wasn't reading the report, but everybody's commenting on the report. How are you going to comment on something that you haven't read? It doesn't make no sense.
Yeah, that is true. There was a situation where, people were talking about things and it wasn't true. So, I mean, we know that's true. But
I'm just saying, everybody, this is the culture we're in, and we as journalists have to uphold a certain part. So taking the 5 minutes, like it's not a 3,000 page document, taking the 5 minutes to actually read the document and then you saying, yeah, that was trash, is way better than saying,
I didn't read it, but it's trash.
Exactly. Yeah. But
okay.
She ain't reading it. She ain't reading it. I'm just saying.
We're not saying that her article's trash. We're saying that she's trash because she's not prepared. That's the whole point. I don't have to read an article just because you're a journalist. That's the whole point in choosing your niche and what you want to watch. So if you, that's like just like people that choose to tune into our show. Just because we're journalists doesn't mean they have to watch us.
True. Just stay ready next time.
Exactly.
Just
stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
And
but I mean, I'm ready to move on because look, Billy Porter wants us to get ready for him as the fairy godmother in the new live action Cinderella. And you guys, I am so freaking excited. I'm a musical theater head. I love all things musicals. Although I'm kind of over, remakes and things like that, I do like the live action.
Why are you over remakes?
Because it's, I mean, my goodness, it's so many remakes. It's like, can we just be more original? There's a new Dr. Dolittle. Mm-hmm. It's Robert Downey Jr.
It's not for you though.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And
exactly. I think she called
it. As a consumer, I can choose now like what I want to watch, right? I don't want to watch that.
I mean, okay, I get like some remakes I don't like, but I feel like this, if it's like an animation going live, I kind of like that. I just don't like the remakes of like Friday, or Bring It On, like those like that. I feel like that can get annoying.
About remakes like Dr. Dolittle, but I'm here for. I love all things musicals, and Billy Porter, I mean, he's amazing. He's already an Emmy winner, a Grammy winner, a Tony winner. So I mean, he's got to get that Oscar. But Camila Cabello is also set to star in Cinderella, so I'm super excited about it. It's a Sony Pictures live action, so they're reimagining Cinderella. Are you guys going to watch it? Do you want to watch it?
Wait, why are we
Is it for
Cinderella?
you?
You know how many Cinderellas we done?
Brandy is the one that I like to acknowledge.
Brandy, Lizzie McGuire. I mean, what's up?
Yeah.
It's
not. This is live action though, so you get to hear people live. You get to see. I mean, the stage is going to be even more exhilarating.
I guess we're just not letting the monumental things die. I mean, because Cinderella is a classic. I mean, we all love it, but it's like, are we going to keep remaking stuff?
But imagine,
that's what I'm saying.
Imagine the 10-year-old who's watching the cartoon version of Cinderella, or even the Brandy version of Cinderella. Like, just I don't even want to think about the cartoon version of Cinderella, how like trash it looks now, because it's just one dimensional.
Yeah.
So again, I don't think these remakes. Yes, it's a remake to us because we have now lived a certain period of time where it's a remake.
Yeah.
But it's not, some of the remakes are just not for us. Like the Beauty and the Beast, that wasn't for us. Those are for the younger kids. The same thing with Lion King. All these things, they're making a remake. So now, one, they're gonna make more money. And then two, kids are at 3 working an iPhone.
Yeah.
So you think they're going to sit down for a 2-dimensional Cinderella?
And I mean, some of the things that we liked as kids, the kids today are just not going to be able to relate to. I mean, you have the new Addams Family, just so many new movies coming out.
Even the cartoons on TV now.
I can't even remember.
Even Disney's. I was a Disney kid, and Disney's is not the same. Like,
it's not even as diverse as it used to be. Like,
but the shows are not as popping. It's just different. So I mean,
she said the shows are not as popping.
I'm sorry. I love Disney. I love Disney. Right. I respect Disney. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, I grew up as a Disney kid, and the shows I was watching were lit.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
That's all we're saying.
That's all I'm saying. Don't come
like
for me.
The old people in the club. Back in my day, the shows was popping. The shows was popping.
They were though.
They were. Yeah.
They're missing out. But I want to get into this tweet because someone from Black Twitter, Tori Johnson, says, I love Billy Porter, but nah, I'm not with him playing the fairy godmother. I just think that there are so many beautiful actresses and singers suited for the role, and to me, it's like they're exploiting him at this point.
I do want to ask, if this retweet or delete, I'll actually retweet.
Why?
Because, okay, I'm here for him. I like him, of course, but when I first seen it, my first thought was, why him?
I did think
I want to know, like, what made you guys cast him, a male? Like, what was the And then I heard a lot of people saying, mother, when you hear mother, you think of a woman, not a man.
Right.
So that was a lot of backlash too. So
I think because of Pose and it's like, the house mother and he's, the MC. And, Pose is phenomenal and Billy Porter is just killing it on these carpets. They're saying like he can go beyond barriers, and people, a lot of people just seem to love Billy Porter. He can sing, he was in Kinky Boots, like he's very talented.
Oh, I think he can do it. I just
I'm 50-50 on it because I know he'll do an incredible job. I can already see it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And also it's going to be something different for viewers to see at home, with their families. So it's going to be some controversy, but I also agree there could have been plenty of other people like Jennifer Lewis. She would have been incredible as a fairy godmother.
I can see that. It's 2019, almost 2020, so nothing at this point surprises me.
Oh, there's going to be some stuff.
Yeah.
This is just the beginning, guys, so buckle up.
Would you want to see, Idina Menzel is also going to be in this. You guys know her from Frozen and Wicked. She's amazing. And it's produced by James Corden.
Okay.
So, got some bonus
I think it's going to be good regardless. It's just you just make it think like, how did this casting go? Who made this casting? Just curious thought, that's all.
The era that we're in. Even down to the fact that, Tyler Perry opened his own studios, but a lot of the stuff, part of his success is playing a woman.
Yeah.
A stereotypical black woman.
Martin Lawrence.
I've been saying, but with Shanae, we've been seeing that, yeah.
We've been seeing that, but it's just one of those things where you think about, it's just like, okay, I'm happy for him, but you're also torn that, like, okay, you're perpetuating these stereotypes. So it's kind of like it's a catch-22. It's like, yes, we want him. He's amazing, so that's one. So he's not terrible. He can do an amazing job. But the powers that be, are they exploiting him because of this? Because they want to show black people in this particular light.
What I've come to accept and realize is talent is talent. Like I said, we can all do different things, whether the sex, the race, no matter what it is. So if you can do it, you're good at it. Why not? We have to stop limiting ourselves based on what other people think or what is norm. Because a lot of things is what we're taught, what we're conditioned to think. It's not what is always the fact or what's the truth. So it's like, if they're good at it, okay, let them be good, let them shine. We've seen it happen, like we said, Jamie Foxx, Martin Lawrence. We've seen it happen. They're successful at it. So it's not a bad thing. Let them get their check and be great.
Yeah, I know. I'm definitely want to stop. I don't want to stop the bag.
Yeah, I'm here for Billy Porter. I just want to know, like, what, it was just random. That's all it was.
What was the reason?
Yeah, what was the reason?
What was the reason? Shout outs to Cardi. But we also have just so many other shout outs because Simone Biles, you guys.
Killer.
This girl is incredible. She now has 3 moves named after her. And she's just killing. I wish I could be a gymnast like her, but you guys,
magic.
this black girl magic. What are your thoughts on Simone Biles?
Well, she's a Texas native.
Okay, Texas.
I'm coming to shout out my people, but no. I'm here for her. She's black girl magic. She doesn't surprise us. She just keeps the ball rolling.
She's now 25 world medals. It's incredible.
Serena Williams.
And it's just and just to see her, like, we've seen her in the Olympics, but she's come such a long way from how she grew up. She grew up just with her grandparents. I think her mom was on drugs. So just like to see where she is now, like, she's good.
But that's I feel like that's a lot of successful people backstory. It's never a positive. They never came from nothing great. Something. So that's a tip right there. Don't ever think where you come from is where you're gonna finish. So shout out to you, Simone, for showing us that.
Yes. Wow. So yeah, that's Simone Biles, and then also who do we have? Zoe Kravitz, who is Catwoman. So we learned about her. What do you guys think about that? Would you want to see Catwoman? What are your thoughts? No,
Hallie.
Hallie killed it.
What?
I'm sorry, Eartha Kitt.
Yeah,
she's
no,
the OG.
Eartha Kitt is the
Eartha Kitt.
Oh, y'all don't think Hallie did good though when she played it?
She was kind of boring. The movie was kind of boring.
Okay, I'll give y'all. I'll give y'all that.
The movie, she looked amazing, but the movie was boring, and
the
ratings were terrible.
I'll give you that because I think she did look good. That's what.
No, she looked amazing.
She did look good.
Yeah, she looked amazing.
That's what it was.
Zoe's been killing it. Like I'm looking for, and she has very diverse roles. Like she's very particular on how she picks her roles. So I'm looking forward to it. It doesn't necessarily come for Hallie. It's not the acting or how great she looked. It was the writing. So it really, like, you can have everything else put together, but the writing's terrible or the story is terrible. Then there's only so much an actor can do. So I really hope that the movie and her playing it, the writing is going to be up to par.
Everything behind the scenes. Yeah. I feel like she's a good Catwoman. I want to know though, like we just talked about, remaking shows.
That's what
Can we get like new superheroes?
It'd be nice.
Or new, like, we don't have to keep remaking the same people,
That's
guys.
what it's just so much. I'm like, again. I'm like, I don't even know what I want to watch in the movies anymore because it's the same thing.
It's gonna be some we already seen 20 years ago. They just remake it.
And the endings are predictable.
Some superheroes are iconic. Like I saw Joker, and
I heard that was
yeah.
not the best.
It was great.
It's a mixed bag. I saw it, and here's one thing that I got out of it. We saw the old school Joker, and we see like different reincarnations of Joker. But what never dawned on me is that the storyline of how he became who he was is mental illness. And I never, it never clicked until I saw this.
This last
one, because it was an origin story. So it told us how he got to that point. And it was mental illness. There was problems with his mom. Like, he was suffering, and then it came to a point where he completely cracked, and this is what we got, Joker. So it's just like sometimes some characters like Catwoman, it just depends on, again, the writing and how they do the story. You know, Batman has been out a billion times, but every version of Batman is a different angle of a story.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Yeah. It's the dark story. We have young Spider-Man. Even the Spider-Man, the cartoon one is really good.
Yeah, but
so it's just like one of those things where it's just the writing, and then again, it's not necessarily for us. Like, you have people who they're the Batman from the 60s. They rock with that one.
True, yeah.
But they probably about 70.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like it just depends on, it's all about the writing and the production.
Yeah, I agree with that because I love the Spider-Mans and I've seen everyone. So I agree with that. And yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
Right.
Look, I give you that.
I got 1 point tonight. I got 1 point tonight.
You made a point. I give you that. Okay. But the rest of y'all that ain't got the good writing, just let it go.
Right.
Let it go.
I'm excited though to see her in this, and I like how you said that. I mean, she's really diverse, just from X-Men to Big Little Lies. Like, she's great.
Yeah,
so,
she's great.
Shout out to Zoe.
Shout out to her daddy too. Her daddy look amazing.
He does. Oh my gosh. Whew.
and her mom. I saw. Oh my God, just
Lisa
at the beach the other day with her two kids.
Just casually
walking. And I was like,
it.
oh my God, that's Lisa Bonet.
What beach was this? Let me go
Santa
pull
Monica.
up. Okay, I'm pulling
I
up.
was like, she was just like.
Far.
Well, I'm just saying, so many people go to that beach.
Oh, it was a Saturday, and she was walking with her two kids. And I was like, that's Lisa Bonet. I was like, I can't.
I haven't yet to
LA
just
for
randomly
you.
run into a celebrity.
Really?
I've seen
all the time.
Instagram
Where do you
influencers.
live?
I live in Riverside, but I'm always in LA though.
There's your answer.
Well, so maybe if I come in this area where I see somebody,
you see them at the grocery store, and
See, I
all the
see
time.
Instagram people.
Go to the Groves, like anything. You'll see them everywhere.
You see-
The Grove Mall.
The one, the ones who want to be seen.
I'm taking notes here. I'm like,
The ones who want to be seen, they'll
West
go to the Grove.
Hollywood, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Sherman Oaks, you'll see a lot of them too.
Exactly. See, speaking of someone else who we will be seeing out is JT of City Girls. She is free at last. Free
JT.
Okay. Do y'all listen to City Girls?
Yes.
Okay. Are you excited that she's back? Like, what are we thinking? Because Miami is now
The
preggers.
music is gonna be popping.
Okay, I don't know if y'all
some
listened to
stories.
the single she dropped. You haven't heard it, JT? Oh, okay. Now, when you get in your cars, please listen. Like, I'm telling you to listen. She
It's
came
fire?
with it's fire.
Okay.
No, fire. No, seriously, fire.
Usually when they out of jail, the songs are popping.
No, seriously, and they have a lot of time to think.
Yeah.
But I'm happy because I honestly didn't expect her to get out to 2020.
Same.
So I feel like when Miami being pregnant, she's about to go in labor. I feel like this was very beneficial. I don't
You
know
think the judge was like, you know what, your partner's pregnant. There you go.
No, honestly, I was thinking though. I want to know, like, did this have something to do with it? Because last time I checked, she wasn't supposed to be released till 2020.
Well, probably good behavior too.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
So I'm just happy that she's home free. That Miami, because Miami had to carry the group,
But she did a great job.
and she did a bomb job.
Yeah.
At it. So shout out to you, young Miami. But she's now pregnant, so I'm glad that JT's back to help her. And like I said, my girl got bars. Just go listen.
She is, and I feel like she was always like the main rapper of the group too. Like,
Yeah.
out of the both of them.
It
But
is
I'm
called-
excited for it. It's called First Day Out.
Yeah, first yeah.
Yeah, and she says that City Girls album will be out in 90 days. So we'll see if that actually
that's the 3
happens.
months. 3
Right,
months,
that's
yeah.
3 months. So
Oh, no, I
okay.
believe him because they ready. And like I said, Miami been holding it down. I know JT been ready to get out, so we finna get some fire.
Probably has
Yes.
We
lots of
finna get some fire.
All right. Well, last but not least, guys, our special segment. One of my favorites is Who Said That? So we got to get ready for that. Who said that? I love our audio for this.
It is.
Who did this audio? This audio is amazing.
This is my favorite segment, TK. So
Okay.
to break this down and to all of our viewers, so pretty much you might think you know your favorite celebrities, but do you really? So I'm going to give you an anonymous tweet. You got to let me know Who said that? Okay? I'm excited for this first one. All right, so the first one is, if I don't rock with you, I'm not even using your nail person or anybody associated with you.
I love your voices.
Tiana Taylor.
Wow. So,
Yeah, give me some names.
your options are Jennifer Williams, Basketball Wives, I don't know if y'all remember her. Nicki Minaj or Cardi B.
Oh.
I'm going to go with Cardi. I don't know, though.
She does have her nails done all the time. She's always going off on
between
people.
Cardi and Nicki. Cardi, I guess.
I'm going to say Cardi.
Wrong.
Nicki?
Dang, y'all.
Was it?
Nicki?
I knew it was gonna be Jennifer. I just didn't want to say
Jennifer
it.
Williams.
Cause
She
says I don't rock with you. I should have said Jennifer.
I can hear her voice too with that nasally voice.
We have the same hairstylist, by the way. That's so crazy. Yes,
I
that's
saw
so
her
crazy.
at church. She had a bodycon dress on, but no judging.
Hey, the
Wow,
Lord
that
said,
was-
"Come as you are."
Exactly.
Come as
the
you
doors
are.
of the church are always open.
Always open.
But yeah, that was
Guess
Jennifer
what
Williams.
church
She
that
was
is.
popping off because of Evelyn Lozada and all the drama that's going on with Basketball Wives. You guys
Man,
have
shout out
to
to
catch up on
OG.
that.
I'm TOG.
I am too. I'm sorry. I respect real people. Period.
Yes.
So, yeah.
OG's the
I'm your
homie.
athlete's favorite athlete.
Yeah.
Period. I'm
OG's the
sorry.
homie.
I love the original. I love Evelyn too, but I'm OG. I'm with it. Sorry. Like we're on the panel of that.
Okay, all right. So for our next tweet, this person says, "Wow, I made one of the best albums of the year. That's crazy."
Oh, who is this conceited?
All right. Is this Chris Brown, Wale, or Tyler the Creator?
Tyler. That sounds like some shit he'll say.
Igor
I
was.
wanna see
a
Tyler.
great
I want to
album.
say Wale because he's been tweeting a lot, but I'm gonna just say Tyler because
I was gonna say Tyler, too.
Yeah, that
Sounds
sounds like
like
some
him.
Tyler stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, y'all.
Was it Wale?
Again, it's Wale.
That's what I said.
the Virgo.
Yeah.
But I mean, he has his album.
Out.
Wow, that's crazy.
He
You know,
has
so-
been tweeting a lot. I knew it was gonna be him.
Yeah. Which shout out to
That was the
Wale.
last one, but you didn't guess him.
What?
Okay.
Oh, my second option is always
Well,
right.
I just want somebody to get 1 point. Just one.
You
got another
All right.
one?
We got one more, okay?
Okay.
All right. This last one, you ready? This last one says, "I'm so excited to hear music with cursing. The feds have us in there listening to Kids Bop clean version."
Oh, that's JT. I seen that tweet.
You seen it? Is it JT? Are you
Well,
sure?
JT then.
You sure? I'll give you your options. Hold on. Because it could be Kodak Black. Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Well, he ain't out yet.
Baby, he don't need
Or
to be tweeting
JT.
nothing if he out.
I'm gonna go JT too.
Y'all got it. Okay.
There we go.
one.
See, we
All
got
right.
one.
I was trying to make it a little hard, but y'all got it.
Tekashi,
Congrats.
don't tweet when you get out. Just go move.
he got it
somewhere.
out.
We
album
gotta
ready,
see what
so.
you guys also thought on Who Said That. But thank you for tuning in. And I mean, great show, great topics. Make sure you tune in next week. Rocky will be back. I'll be back. Sierra will be back. And of course, make sure you guys follow TK. TK, let people know where they can find you.
You can find me on everything at TK Trinidad.
Okay, cool. And you can find me on my social media at Sierra Stafford TV on my Instagram and Sierra B Stafford on my Twitter.
All right, and I'm Jamie Gray. You can find me on Twitter at It's Jamie Gray, or better yet, Instagram at Jamie Gray, JAIMI. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love you. Stay black.
Ciao.
Black Twitter.
On behalf of our BHL staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Check out our Black Hollywood Live YouTube page for even more great programming and amazing content, and be sure to subscribe and like our channel when you do. I'm your BHL host, Nakia Monet, and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom or at Black Hollywood Live. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.